Welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Monday, 20th November 2017. I'm Fredicia Liburd. The Bridges Road Improvement Project is completed after 10 months of being under construction. In an interview with the Department of Information on Wednesday, 15th November, Junior Minister in the Ministry of Communications, Works and Public Utilities, the Honorable Troy Liburd, said the work began in the last week in January of this year.
The good folks at Public Works commenced work on the Bridges Road project up in the area of Church Ground, where you used to have that really bad road that linked Church Ground to Bridges. Very few people would have traveled that road. That has been paved for some months now, and now we are seeing the final bit of paving to complete this set of roads. In all, we have done just over 12,000 feet of road here in Bridges, and once this paving is complete, then people will have a brand new paved through road to get you from Bridges all the way up to Church Ground. I'd like to say thanks to the good folks of Bridges. They have waited a very long time for this road.
Minister Liburd expressed his gratitude to the director and staff at the Public Works Department, the management and staff at the Nevis Water Department, his permanent secretary, Dr. Ernie Stapleton, and the principal assistant secretary, Denzel Stanley. The Junior Minister of Works also emphasized the fact that the road improvement project was constructed by mostly local contractors.
And I'm happy to say that this project here in Bridges was almost 100% locally done. Local excavator owners and operators, local backhoes, local truckers. If you can see behind me now, we have the local truckers are the ones who are bringing in the asphalt. And I must say that in the earlies, the government took the bold decision to empower our Public Works Department, our Water Department, and to empower our local contractors. As you see behind me, you see the paver, you see rollers. All of those were bought by the government to ensure that the departments have the necessary equipment to get the work done. You see work like this, civil works like this, as much as we would love to get it done by manpower, it is equipment that gets this type of work done. And so I'm happy that the government could have invested and that we are now seeing the fruits of that investment.
The road rehabilitation work was completed in its entirety on Wednesday, 15th November 2017. On Saturday, 18th November, Nevis received its first cruise call from the cruise line Crystal Esprit. A team comprised of the Nevis Tourism Authority, the Ministry of Tourism, the Nevis Air and Seaports Authority, and Jalil Walwyn and Company Limited boarded the ship at the pier at the Four Seasons Resort and were greeted by captain of the vessel, Jan Rautawara.
Yeah, we are very happy to be here in Nevis. It's our first Caribbean season for Crystal Esprit. And originally we were supposed to do 2 different one-week cruises in the Caribbean, but as you all know, these 2 hurricanes mixed everybody's issues here a little bit. So nevertheless, we are still able to come to St. Kitts and to Nevis, which I'm very happy about. This ship has been 2 years in operation for Crystal Cruises, and the 2 previous seasons we were busy in the Seychelles during the winter and the summer season in the Mediterranean. So this is now the first season here in the Caribbean. And we shall then, of course, see what will happen in the future. But so far, so good. Looks very nice. And I hope we will come back here again. So, on behalf of Crystal Cruises, thank you for having us here. And we look forward to come again.
Chief Executive Officer in the Nevis Tourism Authority, Greg Phillip, welcomed the captain and crew to Nevis and presented him with a book of the history of Nevis, which is to be placed in the ship's library.
We're very pleased to have you in Nevis, and
Thank you.
we trust that all of your guests and also your crew would enjoy Nevis and would come back even in the next season. That's what our hope is. We're glad that it is your first season in the entire Caribbean. So hopefully, since it's your first season in the Caribbean, it's your first time to Nevis. Nevis would be memorable.
Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, John Hanley, also presented a small token on behalf of the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Mark Brantley.
It is my distinct privilege and pleasure to welcome you to Nevis. I'm glad to hear that you've been here before, but I'm sure many of your guests are here for the first time. Nevis is a special place, and I hope that your passengers will also find Nevis a special place. The Honorable Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Mark Brantley, he would have liked to have been here to welcome you in person, but unfortunately he's away on matters of state, and he sends his apology. So on his behalf, I'd like to welcome you to Nevis, and I hope that you will have a very enjoyable stay. I hope that many of your passengers would see it fit to come back to Nevis as full-time passengers. I hope that their stay on the island would be so enjoyable that they can do no less than to come back. We want you to take a little piece of Nevis with you. So we have something that is actually made by Nevisians, and I hope that you will treasure it and enjoy it.
The team, comprised of Director of Sales and Marketing at the Nevis Tourism Authority, Devon Liburd, Deputy Chief of Security at the Nevis Air and Seaports Authority, Stephen Hector, and booking agent at the Lille Walwyn and Company Limited, Dennis Brown, were given a tour of the ship by the captain. Crystal Esprit is scheduled to make a call to Nevis every week for the next 2 years. November 17, 2017 marked the launch of the Education Sector Plan 2017 to 2021 under the theme Education for All, Embracing Change, Securing the Future. The Education Sector Plan builds on the White Paper on Education Development and Policy 2009 to 2019 in order to provide a strategic roadmap for improvement in the provision and administration of education over the next 5 years, says Minister of Education, the Honorable Sean Richards, during his keynote address during the launching at the Ocean Terrace in OTI. Minister Richards added that education is dynamic and there is a need to keep abreast of the new changes. The 3 major goals are to improve equitable access and participation at all levels, strengthen quality and relevance at all levels to improve learning outcomes, and to enhance sector efficiency and effectiveness through improved governance. The policy goals of the document have embraced the sub-regional developmental imperative outlined in the OECS Education Sector Strategy 2012 to 2020, explained the minister, adding that the Education Sector Plan also considers and takes into account the goals of the Global Ichion Declaration for Education 2030, which sets out a new vision for education. The sector plan is crafted on a solid foundation of extensive research and reliable analysis from consultations spanning a period of 2 years. The contents of the document have had input from local stakeholders, regional partners, and international agencies. Minister Richards extended his gratitude to United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization UNESCO and the International Institute for Education Planning for the technical support they provided. He also commended all of the stakeholders for their contribution during the consultations and complimented the core team, which was led by Dr. Neva Pemberton, Chief Education Planner. Still to come, St. Kitts and Nevis's 25 Most Remarkable Teens awarded. The details when we return. Welcome back. The 25 Most Remarkable Teens for 2017 were presented with awards for their exceptional achievements and contributions in various fields of endeavors in St. Kitts and Nevis at a special sitting of Parliament held on November 16th. The 25 Most Remarkable Teens for 2017 are Sarai Hutchinson for commitment to personal excellence, Tikoya Warner for public speaking and community development, Namibia Clavier for being a scholar athlete, Rolje Williams for commitment to personal excellence, Edwarn Woodley Gift for music, Kachikwa Williams for academics, Vidonje Richardson for most promising teen, Marcus Dewberry for sports, Delvin Williams for courage to overcome, Juniqua Maynard for courage to overcome in academics, Kaniqua Elliott for performing arts, Cheslin Maloney for academics and youth development, Janika Francis for leadership and youth activism, Rashid Moore for personal decision to change, Brandon Chambers for performing arts and leadership, Deanja Mills, scholar athlete and volunteerism, Danicia Henry for pageantry and fashion modeling, Chris Tyson for spiritual commitment, Zafi Aldo for school pride, Javon Brooks for being a scholar athlete, Zubaida Springer for youth development, Travis Warner for sports, Sabrina Orr for fashion design, Devon Cornelius for performing arts, and Zanel Akers. Minister of Youth, the Honorable Sean Richards, said that the youth of St. Kitts and Nevis possess vision, discipline, dedication, diligence, and intestinal fortitude to make a difference. He noted that the auspicious occasion, now held for the 7th consecutive year, is significantly special due to the tabling and passing into law of the Youth Policy Bill at the November 14th sitting of the National Assembly. Minister Richards expressed that our youths are remarkable and deserve the love and support of a nurturing nation, while stating that it is important to recognize that the thoughts and deeds of these remarkable teens are attributed to the many people that shape their worldviews and the quality of their environments. The 2017 graduation and prize-giving ceremony for the Charlestown Secondary School and the Nevis Sixth Form College took place on Wednesday, 15th November with the theme, Integrity, the Cornerstone of Character Building. The keynote address was presented by Chanel Simmons, who was a former teacher of the school. Simmons spoke on the ceremony's theme and its importance.
Integrity is derived from the same root word as integer, meaning whole or complete. It therefore captures all of our actions, what we do, what we say. It ensures that our public and private face is one and the same. It represents the choice to do what's right, no matter the inconvenience. Integrity defines our character, who we are, as it communicates a lot about the values and principles we hold and how we translate that in our daily lives. It also connotes honesty, not just to you, but to others. Credibility. Your word is your bond. If you don't honor what you say, neither will anybody else.
She also delivered sound words of advice to the 2017 graduating class.
Our character is developed through time, through life's experiences, and what we choose to learn from them. However, it is futile if we keep making the same mistakes, because it means we are not making any effort to learn from them, and man doesn't always give us 3 chances. For once your reputation falls into disrepute, once you betray someone's trust, no matter how big or small, your network circle becomes smaller and smaller until you're left in the dark all alone, or perhaps with the people of the same mindset. But the essence of all this is that it will have a negative impact on your aspirations and on you. This is why it is important to be self-critical and to engage in continuous self-assessment of the mental and moral conditionings that underpin your decision-making.
The presentation of certificates and prizes were distributed by Mrs. Maureen Clark. The ceremony took place at the Nevis Cultural Village, where many family members and friends attended. The following is a notice from the Nevis Electricity Company Limited, NEVLEC. In continuing efforts to restore electrical power to full normalcy, the Wärtsilä team has scheduled a stop of both Wärtsilä units tomorrow, Tuesday, November 21st. This stop will be from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. and will allow for the continued modification of the backup process of the PLC system in the control panel of both units. While they are not anticipating any forced outage, the public is advised that power may be interrupted briefly. NEVLEC craves the continued patience and understanding and again apologize for the outages experienced recently. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.